Reverie Talks. I am Cicily Daniels.
I'm Tijana Ibrahimovic.
Fashion Reverie takes you from the front lines of fashion to the front row.
All of Fashion Reverie Talk segments are based on published content found on fashionreverie.com.
So remember, if you want more information on the segments, go to fashionreverie.com. And if you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button on this episode on YouTube.
In this episode, we are happy to have top model Daiane Sodré, model icon Shailah Edmonds, and bridal publicist extraordinaire Myrdith Leon-McCormick. But let's start with fashion news. All of our news segments are based on the fashion news alerts found on fashionreverie.com. So take it away, Cicily, with our first fashion news segment.
I am excited that I get to talk about one of my own personal icons and inspirations, Cynthia Erivo, and she has a fantastic cover on Harper's Bazaar. She is obviously a Broadway icon, a film icon, and everyone in the world was dressed up, including my daughter, as Elphaba on Halloween yesterday. And so she graces the cover of the November issue of Harper's Bazaar, and it is part of the huge media blitz for Wicked for Good. And she says in as she's talking about the character, that Elphaba will be a part of her life forever, but that they need some separation. They're not the same anymore, but they can be friends. So I think that's interesting just to think about her relationship that she's had with the character that is now, so iconic. And now this huge second film is going to come out. She is dressed in Giorgio Armani Privé, Valencia Haute Couture, and a couple of others. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful cover.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. Well, Diane von Furstenberg, another fashion icon, is figuring out new ways to keep her brand in the news. And she is introducing a new initiative that celebrates the brand's heritage. It's also a pretty sustainable way of doing things and keeping up with the brand. She mentioned that the essence of timelessness is in dresses that last forever, and to have a great vintage piece is a jewel that lasts forever in your closet. She shared that with fashionnetwork.com. And so she is actually trying to keep her word on it. So there is now DVF Vintage, and they offer a hand-selected collection of vintage styles pulled from Diane's personal archives and from the DVF community. So it's a buyback program that invites customers to consign their pre-loved DVF items for store credit. So if you go to the DVF flagship store in the Meatpacking District, you can explore a curation of archival looks and find some prints and silhouettes from a while ago. And until November 30th, consumers and shoppers can do this at the flagship store in New York City in the Meatpacking District. It's also a beautiful shop. You should definitely go and check out. And you can go and explore the DVF Vintage. And it's also currently available online and in DVF stores.
Oh my goodness, that sounds exciting. I will wear a DVF dress in a minute. And a wrap dress is a good look on so many figures. And, she obviously made that an iconic dress and, always has such gorgeous, patterns and prints and those silhouettes. So I might need to look into it.
It works because it's adjustable for any season.
Exactly. However snatched your waist is at the time. My last bit of fashion news is about Allen Iverson, NBA legend icon, who has teamed up with Guess Jeans for a limited edition capsule collection. And this capsule collection is going to introduce 5 iconic t-shirts based on his 1993 photo shoot with Sports Illustrated. And he speaks about his relationship to Guess growing up, that they were like the coolest thing out there, that he really couldn't afford, that maybe he once had a pair. And so he's really excited about this collection. And the brand is saying that Iverson is representing a generation that has changed how we see sports, fashion, and identity. And they want his authenticity, resilience, and energy are embodying what Guess Jeans stands for today. So the t-shirts will retail for $44 a piece, and they will show an 18-year-old Iverson when he was beginning his professional career. So yeah.
Oh, so inspiring for a lot of people, I bet.
Exactly. And that is it for our fashion news. But if you want to stay up to date, you know where to go, fashionreverie.com.
Fashion Reverie viewers, we have a supermodel, international top model, Daiane Sodré with us today. And I'm excited to get a little bit of an insight on her career. Daiane, welcome to Fashion Reverie Talks.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys today. I'm super excited.
I'm excited to hear a little bit about your road to success that you're currently enjoying. You are from Brazil. I would love to know a little bit more about your background and how did you grow up? I heard a little bit of stories at the events we both attended. So I'd love for you to share it with our viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I cannot wait to meet you in person.
Yes.
So I'm from the city in Brazil called Baixa Grande. It's in the northeast in Bahia. It's like 25,000 people. And, I was chosen.
Yes.
And I have 12 siblings.
Wow.
I'm the youngest of...
Only? You're the youngest?
Yes. Yeah. I'm the youngest. I'm number 13, which is pretty crazy. I know.
Lucky 13.
Yeah. I started to love the number 13. And I grew up very poor family in the north of Brazil. It was very interesting, like having that change in my life from coming from this little town in Brazil from a poor family to just living in New York City. That was like a lot to process. It was like a big challenge, but I always wanted that change. I always wanted to do better for me and for my family. So when the opportunity came, I moved to a different city. I wanted to be a psychologist at some point, and then everything changed, and then I had the chance to go to a convention for models, and I was chosen by all of them. And then I moved to São Paulo, and then after 3 months, I came to New York for my first time. So that was it felt like it took a long time, but everything actually happened so fast, and it's so interesting. It was always my dream, to be a model. I always wanted that. Mm-hmm. But at some point I thought, oh, you know what? My family want me to be in school. Maybe it's not going to happen. And then from one day to the other, everything is just changing. It's just until today, when I think about it, I'm I can't believe that that actually happened, coming from where I came from, to where I am right now, it's wild. It's a wild dream, I'm still dreaming.
So what would you say attributed to your rise in fashion?
Definitely consistent work. I think it's very important to stay focused and have an amazing team with you. I'm very grateful for my agency, the Lions, for my family, for my friends, everybody my clients who gave me the opportunity, who gave me support and that believed in me. I think that's very important to stay focused, take care of your mind and your body, and always have faith and always believe in yourself. I think that's very important. Never give up on your dreams. I always say that. It might sound a little cheesy, but I think it's very important to like never ever give up on your dreams.
Mm-hmm. And faith, you mentioned, so that's good.
Yeah.
So now, just recently, there was a huge highlight in your career. I think it's every model's dream. So you recently walked in the Victoria's Secret show.
Oh my God.
Tell me about that experience.
Oh my God, wow. I feel like I'm still like, it's too hard to believe that actually happened. Like, imagine just like going to bed every single night, just dreaming and praying for that moment, you know? Like, I waited so long, and I always, I believe in the law of attraction. Like, I always write like little notes like by my bed, like, you know, I want to achieve this, I want a dream, I want this, and I want that. Like, so it was very interesting, like wanting that so bad and for so long, and then one day you wake up and you are actually going to be there, you know. Especially like coming from where I came from, like what are the chances? Like that this little girl from like this little town, like she has 12 siblings, a poor family, is gonna walk the Victoria's Secret fashion show. You know, it's like that doesn't really happen very often. So it was just like, it was a dream. Like, I'm still dreaming. Like, I know it happened like a couple weeks ago, but I'm still in shock. It was incredible. It was everything.
Tell me about the casting and about, you know, the call back.
Oh my God, the call. I know my agent, like, when he called me, he sounded like he was going to give me like a bad news. And I was just like almost crying about it. You know? And I was just like, oh my God, what happens? Everything okay? He was like, well, you're going to be on the Victoria's Secret fashion show. And I was like, oh my God. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, it was everything I dreamed of, you know, from all the models. Everybody was so nice. They were so sweet. Like how hard they worked to put that show together. Like it was just incredible, like to be there. Like it was amazing. I'm so happy. I worked so hard for that moment, and I always believed, you know, like I always say that, like, you become what you think about all day long, you know? And that's like, I visualize myself being there and walking in the show, and I'm just so happy, you know? It was just incredible. Like, it was just amazing. It's hard to believe it, you know? I feel like sometimes I'm still, when I sit down and I think about it, I was like, wow, that actually happened. Like, I actually did, you know? I'm just super happy, super happy.
Well, congratulations. That's truly amazing. Now, let's talk about philanthropy, because you are an ambassador for Delivering Good, because you do believe in giving back, which I think, you know, it kind of brings more success sometimes. And so could you tell me about how did you learn of Delivering Good, and how did you connect with them, and why exactly Delivering Good cause?
Yeah. First, when I heard about Delivering Good, it was through my agency. They were friends with someone at Delivering Good. And when we talked about it, they knew how important it was for me to be involved with a charity. Like, I'm so honored to be part of Delivering Good and the work that they do. Like I mentioned before, I came from a very poor family in the northeast of Brazil. So I know how important it is to give it back, you know, like to the people in need. Like sometimes we go to the distribution in Long Island City when Delivering Good partnered with River Fund. And to see the amount of people, there was one time was like 2,000 people waiting on a line, raining outside, you know, like to be able to get clothes and food. And like, it's just so important to me. Like, there's nothing better than seeing like a kid smiling at you, like when they get a toy, when they get the clothes, you know, like I think it's so important to use my voice and my platform to be able to help the people in need, you know, like it's so important to me and so special. Like I always try to use my social media, and I always like inviting my friends and everyone around me, because I think it's such a beautiful cause. They do such an amazing work, you know, like when they do the shopping experience. Like they have them, they go, they choose what they want. You know, it's everything is like brand new. So there's
Amazing.
also like a different feeling when you're receiving something new, when you go and you pick for yourself what you want. You know, it just gives, I don't know exactly the word, but like it just gives you like, I don't know if it would be dignity. Like it's just such a different feeling when you're able to go and choose what you want to wear, you know, like you're picking something. Yeah. But yeah, they're just incredible. And it's very important to me to be part of like something like that and always give it back to here, the US, where it's, you know, where I chose to be my home, and in Brazil as well. And yeah, they're incredible.
Yeah, I'm familiar very well with Delivering Good, and they do incredible work. And of course, now you're a part of it. So, you know, great job.
Thank you.
So what's next on your vision board, on your next, as you said, law of attraction list?
Well, there's a lot of things that I have, but I can't talk about it yet. Like I'm always the kind of person that, like, I don't actually talk about it until it happens. You know, like even with the VS, my family didn't even know I went to the casting, you know, like I didn't tell anyone because I was like, I'm going to tell them the moment that I know I got it, you know, because I've been trying for a while. And sometimes like you have so much expectations and you get so disappointed when you get a no. And I think that's why I always say, like, it's so important to never give up, because I've got a no for so many years, you know, but like I always believe that, like, and I believe in God, and I know that everything happens when it's supposed to be. Like it will be when it should be, you know. And that's why I say, like, you know what, I'm not gonna tell everyone until I actually know. And then the moment that I got the call, that was the first thing I did, was just like call my family, and everybody was just like freaking out because they knew how bad I wanted, how much I wanted, you know, how important it was for me and for my family and for my friends. Like I'm also like living my dream, but I'm also living their dreams as well, you know, especially when you come from like small towns, like where we came from.
Yes. Well, at least you have 25,000 that are cheering for you, at least from your hometown.
Oh my God. So many people, everybody's just so happy and so excited, and they're all so proud of me. And, you know, it's just really amazing. I'm just very grateful, very thankful for all of that.
Well, thank you, Daiane, for talking to me and for sharing all of your experience with the Fashion Reverie viewers. And I hope to see you soon at
I will see you next week. Yeah, thank you
so
much for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, already a wonderful interview, and we are keeping it going. I am so excited to bring on an accomplished entrepreneur, an icon in her industry, Myrdith Leon-McCormick, who is best known as the founder of World Bride magazine. Welcome, Meredith.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
I am so well. How are you?
I'm good. We're live. We're above ground. So, hey, we're going to do every bit of it.
I know that's right. And look at the gorgeous background. Well, I was introducing your iconic magazine, but I love that anyone who's tuning in gets to see a couple of your fabulous covers. We are going to get right into it. I want to know, you had a really interesting journey to me. So could you briefly describe your fashion journey that led you to starting your magazine, World Bride?
Well, I'm going to make it really brief. So I started off in the fashion world, coming off of the financial world. Oh. So I come from, Merrill Lynch was my last job, like corporate job. And I had a bridal salon, I had a nail salon, but I came into the fashion world by way of being a celebrity manicurist. So as a celebrity manicurist, I was working with the likes of the Beyoncés, Rihanna, J-Lo, Uma Thurman, doing Essence, Vogue, Glamour, Cosmo, Essence, everything. I did all of the Ebony magazine, and I took great pride in it. But if anyone knows the industry, it as a free freelancer, it's always a up and down. You know, you work today, you might get paid 6 months later, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. It's never consistent. But if you're not passionate about what you love, you're going to leave it because it will drive you crazy. And so I went to school and I was going for fashion and marketing. And so at night, mind you, I already had 3 children and I was married. So I had a lot of balls up in the air, but I was determined not to leave the fashion world because that was my childhood dream. So to actually be fulfilling my dreams right now and creating something where there was a lack of absence of multiculturalism is a dream come true. So it's not one path to my journey. It's been different paths. So I have the business background, one, but at the same time, I was educated firsthand of, like, as I want to call it, of schooling through hands-on experience, starting out as a celebrity manicurist and working with people and being, I want to say, humble enough to help that makeup artist, to help the stylist, to help the photographer. But I was taking in information. I was taking in information so that I would learn. And then the question popped up like, hey, we lack a publication that focuses on wedding. I wanted to do a publication that was going to be recession proof. I knew that no matter what was going on in the world, if a girl was getting married, a couple was getting married, they had to spend money. But 9 out of 10, they wouldn't know what to do. How were they going to get that information? And they were open to information. And I wanted it to be an informative bit of information giving to our readers. I knew I probably couldn't compete with the bigger brands, but I knew that what I would do, what would happen is I would be able to at least be in the same room. So that's the short end of the story.
I mean, well, that was a fantastic story. First of all, what a journey! How amazing to have that kind of vision, to be one place and take in all of those, kind of different elements and kind of see a totally different final goal and make it a reality. So that's so inspiring. And it sounds like your magazine fulfills like a real need also for brides and, people planning their wedding.
Some of my clients that I initially was assisting were makeup artists, hairstylists that ended up working for World Bride magazine and helping me and contributing. So I was referring jobs to them. And I took the example of what my agent, at Jump Management did was, hey, she took up 20% in 20% commission off of it. I operated the same way, no deceit, very consistent.
Now, you mentioned some fashion weeks, and I know that you are a regular at New York Bridal Week. Could you speak to how you feel New York Bridal Week is different from other fashion weeks?
Well, first of all, people have to understand that bridal market and ready to wear and couture, haute couture, they all happen in different places and in different spaces. They have London Fashion Week, they have Men's Fashion Week, they have Paris Fashion Week, they have Paris Couture Fashion Week. And then now there's newcomers coming in like Dubai Fashion Week, Riyadh in Saudi Arabia is the latest. And that's the one I'm trying to get to immediately. Okay. In Saudi, they're coming out with amazing stuff. As a professional, and I know William will definitely agree with me, it is important that we have presence in there as media figures to know firsthand that we live the information that we're providing to our readers and our viewers. So it's not about in there to look fabulous, even though, because some days I might just be in, jeans and incognito and very low key, and I want to come in. I don't care about sitting in the front row. It used to matter to me in the very beginning. I wanted that to be my ultimate goal, is to be in the front row. What I found was the most valuable for me was getting behind the stages and scenes, watching the hair and the makeup and all of that come in. So attendance in New York Fashion Week is one thing. Bridal Fashion Week is a whole other beast, because the people that come to Bridal Fashion Week, these are hardcore buyers. They're store buyers. They're not even brides unless it's one of the industry people that are getting married, or a personal shopper, a bridal stylist that's bringing an elite, a great customer that they're looking to buy a specific dress. So it's very intentional. Why? Because it's such a high ticketed item. High. We're talking about from $3,500 to maybe $15,000 or $20,000. So these brides are invested in it. They have a planner, they have a shopper, they are intentional. So it's not as willy-nilly, or it's not entertainment. It might be entertaining, but it's not for entertainment. These vendors, these designers are investing a lot in creating one dress. A sample can go for them to produce $1,000 to $5,000, so that their prices that they're giving you is huge, because the investment from fabrication, from sourcing, resources, manufacturing, production. So if people don't understand why a dress costs a certain way, really investigate that. And that's what's important to me, that I want people to understand that bridal is $170 billion industry. It's not for the weak of heart. It's a lucrative business. It's an expensive business. And so people like myself, with World Bride magazine, and now I'm writing for White Sposa magazine, and with Fashion Reverie, we're just not, let's just throw up some information for entertainment. No, you could scroll on Instagram for that. We're giving you facts. We're introducing you to individuals that we met, who's new on the market, what they're doing, what you should be looking for, and how do you prepare yourself so you don't look foolish when you go into a store and you're like, why does that cost so much? There's so much involved in this production to get you that one dress. And now with tariffs, that's a whole other beast.
Right. Well, I mean, I appreciate that there's all of that intentional thought that you have, trying to keep your consumers informed, making sure that you are on the cutting edge of your industry so that you always are in the know. So I know you stay on the cutting edge, and I know you're busy. Can you give me a hint of a what's next? What's next for you, Meredith?
I hope William will join me in my crazy. And I think we're going to work on, no, I don't think, we are already working on a documentary on the bridal fashion industry, making it into a movie, almost something like The Tent, and something like, the Michael Jordan's movie that tells the backstory of the wedding industry. That's one. And then the second component to that is we're working on a coffee table book that celebrates 20 years of our existence, and why journalism is important, and why hard copies, flip the page magazine is still relevant. Yes. So those are the two major things. And next year is going to be our 20th anniversary. And my goal is to cook up 20 years, 20 activities, and 20 ways you can celebrate with World Bride magazine, whether you're married, getting married, want to get in the industry, and just celebrate with us. And I invite other publications, other publishers, other writers to join me. I don't care if you work for The Knot. I don't care if you work for Fashion Reverie. I want you to join me, because at the end of the day, people want what they see the most of. If you're a one-off, people are like, nobody's interested. But if there's a conglomerate of us as media and platforms sitting there, it shows that media is not irrelevant, that we're important and we have something to say. And we're not just giving out our opinions. We're literally giving you facts, nuggets, and we have access that you don't. And our job is to deliver it to you. And that's why we want people to understand what they're investing in. So that's really the ultimate goal of both the documentary and the coffee table book and the celebration all in next year, that free is not free. So to support, for us to continue what we do, we want people to support us. And that's what the whole purpose of those two things are, is to show that we exist to deliver information in love and in passion.
I love that. Meredith, thank you so much for joining us. Very inspirational, very informative. And obviously, if for any reason you are a bride or in that time of you're getting ready to plan on being planning a wedding, World Bride Magazine is obviously where you need to go to get the information that you need. Myrdith Leon-McCormick, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that you'll come back and talk to us again.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you. I think I'm going to call this the episode of inspiration because we have one more extraordinary guest for you. She is an internationally renowned model, one of the first Black models who made headway in Europe, and she is also a multi-hyphenate. So was the beginning of an extraordinary journey. I am so honored to bring model and performer Shayla Edmonds to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm honored, and I'm so glad to share my experience with you.
Oh, this is so exciting for us. Now, I already gave the viewers a hint, but you are renowned as a model. I know that was the beginning of, your foray into the industry, but you are one of the very first Black models that made headway in Europe, and you went all over, like everywhere, and you walked for all of these major houses. Could you tell us about what that was like?
Oh my gosh, it was such an experience. I came to New York, and there was a quota of top Black models and they couldn't take any more. They just, I got rejected by all the agents and everyone. So a photographer believed in me and sent me off to Europe. And I went to Germany without speaking the language, not knowing having an agent or knowing where I was going. But I had the courage to just get on that plane. And I ended up in Germany, started there, had a very nice career, then went on to Italy, to Milan, where I worked and got some gorgeous pictures. But when I landed in Paris, I just fell in love. I just knew that was the place for me. And I found an agent and started working like crazy. I worked for every major designer from there all over the world. And I fit for Yves Saint Laurent for a while and just had an amazing career. And it was at a time when all the Black models, there was an influx of Black models from all over the world, from the islands, from everywhere. So it was just a time that will never be seen before. And I just feel like this needs to be documented because it's kind of forgotten in the industry right now. But we had to want for nothing. We had dinners everywhere. The designers were giving us clothes. We'd go dancing. It was just a time where you had not a care in the world. We're making money and just having a wonderful life.
It seems extraordinary. And for our viewers who want more information, if you could see a little bit of Shayla's backdrop, she has a published memoir called Wild Child to Couture Style, which I love the name of. And that is your your cover is your backdrop. So I just think that I cannot even imagine the journey that all of that must have been. You have so many stories, and I'm sure so many amazing moments.
Yes, it was.
Now, go ahead.
It was such an idea to write the book. I looked back. I kept a journal the whole time I was traveling all over the world, and when the modeling started slowing down, I just looked back at all the things that I had done, and I said, you know what? This is quite amazing. This needs to be in a book, and that's what inspired me to write the book.
Oh, that is so cool. I love that. Well, I will have to pick up my own copy.
Oh, okay. Thank
you. Modeling was only a beginning because you have transitioned from modeling to having sold out cabaret shows across the country, recording jazz CDs. And so in addition to writing this memoir, how was that transition? How did you figure out what you were going to do next?
Yes, so one must realize that modeling is seasonal. I mean, it's not a lifetime career.
Mm.
So you have to kind of you have to plan something or have a plan B or decide what you're going to do after the modeling it slows down, which I did not. I was just flying by the seat of my pants. So so, but after I looked in the journals and I just said, I just need to write a book and do something about this. But I was born with natural talent. I always wanted to sing, act, model, dance. I just wanted to do anything that was affiliated with the arts. And I always did that since I was a child, but I was never recognized. So I just started going back and delving into all of my talents that I never got to expose and just believing in myself that it could happen and going out searching for it and meeting the right people. And, finally the singing, I met the right people who started me singing around the city. I've sang in all the prestigious places around New York City area. And it's been great, but the book was just the one that really took me over to the next. I couldn't believe that it was so serendipitous the way the book happened. I went out to I had a date and he stood me up and I went to see an Ashford and Simpson concert and the lady was going to sit me in the back. She said, "I have a place for you in the balcony because it's sold out." And I says, "Please, I don't dress like this to sit in the balcony. I'm sorry." So, so So she sat me at a table, and at that table I sat with two gentlemen, and one was the writer, and one was the person who did the cover of the book, artist, visual artist.
Yes.
But anyway, we all got together and they put the book together, and he co-wrote it with me, and it just happened just like that. It was just really just amazing, and it was such a great. The New York Times. I did the one-woman show based on the book, and it just so happened the New York Times was at the concert, an editor. And he said, "This is such an amazing story, and I'm going to do a story in the New York Times for you." So it was featured in the New York Times, and as soon as COVID hit, it was just, at a time when the timing was just not right. But I managed to get a full front page and inside page of the New York Times style section.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah, that made the book sell internationally and just had a whirlwind of a sale of a success. But then, and then I even got a film offer for the book.
Well,
One very
yes.
well. I'm sorry.
No, yes, go ahead about the film
Yes,
offer.
one very well-known supermodel offered me a film deal offer, and it was the time COVID hit, and just something happened. I mean, it's just COVID just knocked everything Hollywood just on its head, so that the offer never came through. And after COVID was over, it was just so hard to pick up the pieces to try to get it rolling again. And to do it on your own, it's a whole different ball game than to have someone back you and finance it themselves. So that's why I'm on a mission now. I have in my heart, I always wanted to do this film, and I have it in my mind to do it. So I took it upon myself. I financed the whole thing and just hired the models. I mean, I hired the actors. I went into my closet. I got the wardrobe for the film, and just did everything. Directed, produced, executive produced the whole thing, and I put it out there. I just put it out into the universe, and that's what you have to do sometimes when you follow your dreams and just throw it out there. And sure enough, there's the New York Short Film Festival picked it up, and
That
it
is so amazing.
does. Thank you.
Yes, well, it is going to be on November 9th.
Yes,
And the film is called A Star Alone, correct?
yes,
So,
yes,
A Star Alone will be shown at the New York Short Film Festival. So, for all of our film buffs and also, fashion industry buffs, like this is going to be amazing. So, I mean, I love what you said about just that self-actualization. I think that's kind of
yeah.
the theme of this like episode, like, like really having a vision for yourself and then figuring
Mm,
out how you're going to follow through on it.
absolutely,
And in
absolutely.
seeing you do that, I think that it's so inspiring to other people because it
Yeah.
helps to empower us. It helps your path help to empower our first guests, like, you know what I mean? The
Yes,
steps that you
absolutely,
took.
absolutely.
And
Yes.
so that's so wonderful. Now, obviously, you have a film debuting, you have a memoir, and you have this extraordinary career that has happened and is continuing. Will you tell our viewers if there is a what's next, if it's a secret, if there's something you can share.
Gosh, well, I'm so thrilled and just so filled up with the film right now. I just can't think much of anything else. I do have a plan, but like the model said, I don't like to talk about it so much because I wrote the songs even for some of the films, and the songs are not going to be in the short film because I'm saving them for the actual film itself. Mm-hmm. But it's all about tapping into your inner voice. It's not, I don't want to focus on me, so much as the film being about me and my blah, blah, blah. But it's about inspiring people to tap into their inner voice, listen to that inner voice, because I didn't have parents or family to guide me or anyone to help me. It's all about, this was a self-made project, a self-made model, self-made writer, singer, everything. So it's all about believing in yourself and getting the training and the expertise that you need to succeed and just going for it. So I hope it is an inspiration to all. So I want to just finish this, just get over this debut, this premiere, and then I'll see what the next. But I have a few more film festivals one other one, especially two other ones that have accepted me as well for next year. So I just want to take this on the road, and hopefully, just like spaghetti, you throw it against the wall and it'll stick somewhere, and someone will take it to the next level.
That is so fantastic. Well, this has been it is so extraordinary to get to meet you. I mean, and for anyone, like I said, like a fashion icon, and truly the life that you have lived is inspiring and continue to live, and just really seeing that path for yourself and making it happen. So Shayla Edmonds, thank you. I'm sorry, just got excited. I am so honored. I'm so grateful that you were able to join us on fashionreverie.com. I hope that you will consider to come back and check in with us. Let us know about how the film is doing, and let us know when you have something else for us to share with our viewers.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to share this with you and to be a part of this today. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Well, viewers, that's it for this episode of the season of Fashion Reverie Talks.
We would like to thank Daiane Sodré, Meredith Leon-McCormick, and Shayla Edmonds for appearing on this wonderful episode of Fashion Reverie Talks.
For information on these and other stories, go to fashionreverie.com. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.